everyone, I'm Caitlin, the Humble Farm Girl, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my salty and sweet holiday fudge. This is a Trim Healthy Mama S recipe, so it's full of good healthy fats, and it's the perfect thing to bring to a Christmas party, serve at a Christmas tea, or just make as a fun holiday treat for the family. It's great to share. I love making fudge any time of year, and this is one of those great recipes. Okay, so the first step is to melt and mix all of the chocolate base ingredients. So to this saucepan, I'm going to add 1 cup of stevia sweetened chocolate chips. Pour them in there. 3/4 cup of cream. 1/2 cup of Gentle Sweet. I'm going to add a 4th cup of the Trim Healthy Mama collagen. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So now I'm just going to take this over to the stovetop, and on medium heat I'm going to melt this, stirring constantly to make sure it doesn't scorch or burn on the bottom, and then we're going to proceed to the next step. Okay, so my chocolate base is melted now. So as you can see here, it's pretty thick, like a hot fudge sauce. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have an 8x8 square baking pan here, and I've lined it with parchment paper. So what I'm going to do is take half of the chocolate fudge base, and I'm going to pour it into this pan and spread it out into a thin layer. Okay, so I have about half of my chocolate base in here, so I'm just gonna kind of spread this out to the edges, all along the base of my pan here, to form a nice thin layer. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm just gonna set this aside, and now we're going to make the peanut butter layer of our fudge. So in this bowl, I have 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter, so no sugar added. The ingredients were peanuts and a little bit of salt, so it's pretty pure. So 2 tablespoons in there. Then I'm going to add a 4th cup of coconut oil. So now I'm just going to take a fork, and I'm going to kind of mash up and cream together the peanut butter and the coconut oil in here, because it helps so that the coconut oil, especially if it's a little bit chillier in your house, doesn't make little clumps inside of your filling. So we're just going to kind of cream this together here for a second. Okay, so now we're going to add 1/2 cup of pressed peanut flour. So I use the Trim Healthy Mama brand. It's really great, really good quality, and I love the flavor of it. So I'm going to add that in there. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the Gentle Sweet. Again, you can use any natural low glycemic sweetener that you wanted. So I'm going to use Gentle Sweet and just put that in there. Then I'm going to add 4 pinches of a mineral salt. So I have a sea salt here. You could use pink Himalayan salt or Redmond sea salt. Those are all great. So then I'm going to do 4 dashes of vanilla extract. And 4 teaspoons of water. Okay, then I'm just going to mix it up with my fork until it's nice and smooth and kind of like a thick paste. Okay, so you can see this, that nice smooth texture, that's what we're going for here. It's thick, but we're going to take it, we're going to pat it out and lay it out in our fudge. So that's a good texture to have. You don't want it too runny, and then you don't want it dry and crumbly. Okay, so I'm happy with this dough now. So what I'm going to do is pull my base. It's starting to solidify. You can kind of see it's getting kind of shiny. It's not too runny right now. I'm just going to bring it back over here, and in batches I'm just going to take, well, I guess that's about a tablespoon of my peanut butter dough. I'm going to kind of press it out, kind of like Play-Doh in my hands. pretty thin. It's got a little layer of it. And then I'm just gonna lay it right in my chocolate batter, right here, the chocolate fudge mixture. So just like that. See there? Okay. So the chocolate is completely covered. Look here so you can see. See, it's just thick layer of the peanut butter spread, and I used all of my peanut butter dough. So don't leave any of that good stuff in there. Just cover it all. Okay, so now I'm going to take the remaining portion of my chocolate fudge mixture, and I'm going to cover all of the peanut layer. And if by now your chocolate has kind of solidified a little bit, just heat it back up a little bit to where it's pourable, and you can spread it back on top of your peanut mixture. Okay, so I got all my chocolate out of there, so now I'm just gonna kind of gently spread it. I'm not gonna mix it in with the peanut butter. I'm just gonna have separate layers, so I'm gonna spread it to the edges of my pan. Okay, so now this is going to go in the refrigerator for about 6 hours or until it's solid. And I normally do it overnight, so I'll prepare it the night before, and then when I wake up, I'm going to top it with my caramel sauce. Okay friends, so this is the part of the process that's a lot of fun to me. I love making caramel. So we're gonna make our caramel drizzle that's going to go on top of our fudge. So I have a tablespoon of butter in this saucepan, and I'm going to turn my stovetop on medium-high heat because we're going to brown the butter. Okay, so as you can see, it started foaming and then it browned. See that? It smells kind of nutty. So at this point, I'm just gonna turn the heat off. I'm not gonna put it back down on the burner. And I'm gonna add, I have 2 tablespoons of Gentle Sweet here. So I'm gonna add the Gentle Sweet in there. See, it's that nice caramel color in there. That's what we want, because that rich color means rich flavor. So then I'm just gonna set this back down, and I'm gonna add a couple generous pinches of mineral salt. And we want it to be pretty hot because we want our cream to start bubbling whenever we pour it in, because that's gonna thicken up the caramel sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna start by putting just like a drop of this cream into my pan, and oh, look, it's bubbling. So if it starts bubbling, that means it's hot enough and it's ready to go. So I'm just gonna pour, this is a tablespoon of cream in here. All right, see that? It's getting all foamy. All right, so as you can see, it's bubbling and it's thickened a little bit. So now I'm gonna take some vanilla extract and add a good dash. It's gonna start bubbling. Okay, then I'm gonna just take it off the heat, and our caramel sauce is done. So we're gonna let that cool just a tad before we add it to our fudge. All right, so now I've removed my fudge from the fridge, and it's solid, as you can see. So I'm just gonna pop this out of the pan, aside. I'm gonna pull down the parchment paper and drizzle it with our warm caramel sauce. So I ended up adding a little bit more cream to this caramel because it was a little bit too thick. So it ended up being about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of cream to make sure it's really creamy. So I'm just drizzling it on top. Okay, and there you have it. So I'm gonna transfer this to the fridge for about 5 minutes, and we'll be ready. All right, so I'm gonna garnish the tops of this with a little bit of fleur de sel, and that's just gonna make it really pretty and shiny. So, really makes it pop. It's sparkly. All right, Let me show you a piece here. All right, take a look at that. I'm gonna take a bite. It's nice and soft and chewy at the same time. So I think this would be wonderful to take to your Christmas party or just serve for a fun, festive holiday treat. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make this wholesome and healthy, salty and sweet holiday fudge for your family this holiday season. If you try this recipe, I would love to hear how it went. And I just hope you have a very Merry Christmas, everyone. Goodbye.